Today I'm going to show you guys how I made this cute little mini kini, and I will be dropping bikini tutorials all summer, so make sure you subscribe. So to get started with the mini kini, I use this pretty iridescent fabric as my main fabric, this white fabric as my lining, and then this elastic cord for the straps. Here's the pattern I use, and of course I got you in the description with the pattern for free 99. So I'm just going to cut out 2 pieces of the main fabric, and I cut like right on the side of the pattern. I don't add seam allowance because it's already included. So we just take a moment to talk about this fabric. Like, do you guys see how pretty this fabric was? I got it at Joann's and I didn't even know what I was going to make with it, but I'm like, I need to make something with it. So I'm going to cut 2 of the triangles for the top in the main fabric and 2 in the lining. For the bottoms, I don't usually use lining because of the way that I sew. I don't really need it, but I cut out just the front and the back in the main fabric. My patterns are pretty small because this is a mini kini, so it is going to fit a lot smaller. But with the triangles, you just want to make sure it covers your little ant bite, your little pepperoni, your waffle, whatever you got. Just as long as it covers it, you're good. And so here's me just cutting out the lining. I do use a serger for most of this, but again, if you don't have a serger, you can always use your sewing machine on like some type of stretchy stitch like a zigzag or a hem stitch. I fixed this on the pattern in my description, but here I'm just rounding out those edges. You want to make sure the top edges of your bottoms and the bottom edges of your triangles are curved. That way when we fold it over later to add the strap channel, you don't want to have fabric hanging over the edge. So I start by pinning the triangles right sides together along the sides. And for the bottoms, I'm just going to put them right sides together and pin along that like crotch part. This is my favorite elastic I like to use with all my swimwear. So it's pretty stretchy and it's clear and very thin, which I like. I'll put the link in the description. So I start by just sewing the crotch part together. And then here I just sew the sides of the triangle, not the bottom, just the sides. And I just lay the elastic right on top of where I'm sewing. I usually leave the elastic about a ½ inch away from both edges. That way when I fold it over later and when I add the top strap, it's not bulky. And by the way, I know I really needed to get my nails done in this video. My nail tech was on vacation, so I had to wait an extra week. So, don't come for me. Thank you. And now I'm just going to add the elastic to the edges of the bottom. Now it's time to add the straps. So my straps, I usually make them about anywhere from 19 to 21 inches. That's usually how long my top straps are. So for this elastic, in order to keep the ends from fraying, I just take a lighter and just burn the ends like slightly, and you'll see that they'll get hard and not fray at all. Then I just tie one of the ends of each strap in like a really good knot, like a double or triple knot. That way it doesn't slip through our top part of our bikini. So for our triangles, we're going to cut off just the tip. Like, you want it just big enough for the strap to fit through, so make sure you do not cut too much. And then I'm going to pull the knot that I just tied through the hole with my strap turner. And I'm going to do the same for the other triangle. So with my regular sewing machine, I want to make sure that strap is lined up in the middle, and I'm just going to go back and forth a bunch of times with a straight stitch to make sure it's really secure on there, because you don't want to be jet skiing in Miami and like that come off or something. After that, I'm just going to trim the excess threads and then turn it right side out. So now I'm just going to pull the ends flat and then serge along the edge so that the 2 layers stay together. And again, if you don't have a serger, you can use like a hem stitch for this part. For the bottoms, we added the elastic to the sides, and now I'm just going to fold over the edge and just sew that down with a zigzag stitch. So we're almost done with the sewing part. All we have to do is make our strap channels. since the straps I'm using are very, very thin, the strap channels don't have to be, you know, that wide or anything. So I'm just folding over the edges of the bottom and then I'm going to fold over the edge of the tops and pin it down. And this is where making those corners rounded come in handy, because now when you fold over your strap channel, you're not going to have that fabric hanging off the corners. It's going to line up better. So now that they're all pinned down, I'm just going to sew on top of them with a straight stitch. And of course, make sure you backstitch in the beginning and at the end. So now it's time to add the rest of the straps. I just take the elastic, and I already had one that was like already made, so I knew what measurement I needed. But you can just take the elastic and put it around your waist and make sure it's a little snug, and then just tie it in a knot so you could pull it through both the front and the back. And then once it's through the front and the back, you can just tie it in like a really good double, triple knot. And I like to still burn off the edges so it doesn't fray. And then I just hide it in the back of like the thong part, like in that strap channel, so you don't see the knot. And then I don't know why I didn't record me putting the strap through the top, but it's pretty much the same thing. You're gonna measure around your body, add enough room so you can tie it in a bow, and then just pull it through the two triangles and burn off the edges, and that's it. I absolutely love this fabric and the fit of this bikini. If you guys want to see more of my work or even order a custom bikini from me, you can always follow me on Instagram at ZeblishAngel. If you have any questions, just leave them down below. And as always, thanks for watching.